Dear students, welcome you all to the intro video of the course Open Source Technology. This is course code 19ITOC1001 Open Source Technologies. Myself D. Manoj Kumar, Assistant Professor in IT Department. First of all, what is open source? Open source technologies means that its source code is free, available to use, modify and redistributed. In our syllabi, we will discuss in Linux and operating systems. Linux is a free open source operating system released under the general purpose license. Anyone can run, study, modify and redistribute the source code at every cell copies of their modified code as long as the do under the same license. These are course objectives. Explain the fundamental concept of open source software, understand the command line using in real-time application, summarize the open source software package, illustrate the shell script for an application, explain the database usage for storing data in real-time scenario. After this course is the end of this course, you will learn explain the fundamental concept of open source software and real world problem, understand the command line usage in real time application, summarize the open source software package for real time problems, illustrate the shell script for an application using functions, explain in the database usage for storing data in real time scenario using MySQL. So we'll learn the Unit 1, Introduction to Open Source, looking into the Linux kernel, GNU operating systems, the Linux desktop environment, license, starting with Linux cells, Linux distributed systems. We will study in Unit 2, Linux command line, getting to the cell, reaching the command line, accessing CL via Linux console terminal, accessing CLC via graphic terminal elimination, using the Genome terminal eliminator, using the console terminal eliminator, using the extreme terminal eliminator, basic batch shell commands using Linux commands. We will study the Unit 2. Unit 3, shell scripting 1, basics scripting buildings using multiple commands, creating a script file, displaying message, using variables, redirecting input and output, pipes forming math, exiting the scripts using structured commands, conditional statements, looping statements. You will study in Unit 3. And Unit 4 is shell scripting 2 is handling user input, creating functions, basic scripting functions, returning a value using variable and functions, array variables and functions, function recursion, creating a library using function on the command line. In our Unit 4 we will study the shell scripting 2. And the last unit, Unit 5, is producing scripts. What are the producing script? Using MySQL database, using MySQL, using the database in scripts, using the web, initializing the Linux command line, the Linux configurations file, capturing data from Linux, using email, creating little shell script. You will study the open source technologies. You will study only the Linux and shell commands. Thank you.